This is a Sprinter 2016 144 wheelbase, 4-cylinder, 2500. Finishing up my build, I'm completely done. I'll start off with the front. I did put LED lights by Recon, super bright daytime running lights. I had to put the resistors in there to not get the warning light, but I put that inside the engine compartment. I'll show that after the video. Again, there's my bracket for my tablet. Put a small antenna because my car wash guy broke it, so I put a smaller one. Still get adequate reception. Tinted the windows. Let me see on the back here what else I did. I put a Kurt hitch. Put a Kurt hitch right there, and I put a little Mercedes 2-inch hitch plate. I also put a camera, infrared camera. You can see the infrared with a camera on. Infrared camera up there for the third brake light, aftermarket. And then I put another camera, a second camera, which is license plate camera, and I have a switcher so I can switch to either one. From the back, I'll open it up because you can probably see the TV running. I have a TV. I bought this rug at Walmart, fit perfectly in the back here. And I put the 3-row seat in the very back. I took the 4-row seat and I just put it in storage for now. And I moved the 2 seats back. So the second and third row in the back is actually the 3-seaters now. And I'll show you the inside. Those are all LED lights by Recon. Make it super bright and efficient. Those don't throw any error codes when you put the LED lights in, so you can put whatever you want in there. Again, the step light is a LED Recon light. And here's the inside. So, like I said, I put the first and second row in the back, so now it's the second and third row. I took the 4-row seat. I took the third row 4-seater out. LED Recon lights. I did put a Sprinter. Actually, that's a Metro. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's I'll have to look it up. What seat I bought? I bought it off of eBay, brand new. And I put that seat in there as a reverse jump seat, and I had it welded to the brackets. So the brackets are under this carpet, and I had it welded to the bracket, and it's removable pretty easily with 1 bolt, 2 bolts on the back, and I can just remove that seat if I wanted. And you can see it's pressed against my seat, but I moved my seat as far back as I want, and there's still some room. So that seat fits perfectly in there. I also, what else did I do back here? I did the LED lights, the ashtray. So here's the factory ashtray. And I didn't like them on this side, so I ended up putting outlets with USB ports. And that makes it very useful there. And I did another one in this row. Let me see if I can get there. And I put another one right there. So I have 4 outlets actually, and 4 USB ports. And there's a friend of ours has a stitching machine and made me these pillows. There's another gray one there with a logo, and another one there with a logo, and a blanket for the kids with a logo. Again, that's the TV finally mounted. This does shake a little bit, so I did press the corner up against the AC plastic there, because now it stops it from shaking. So just with that mount, it does shake a little bit too much when driving. I wasn't thrilled about it. I put another zip tie you can see on there just to hold it, but there's my power, and I'll show you where all that comes from in a second. That comes from under my seat with a power inverter. There's a movie playing, so I have a couple options. I could play it from the PlayStation or play games from the PlayStation, but right now I have the tablet mirror casting to the TV. So whatever I play on the tablet, which has a cell chip in it, so I can play YouTube, I can play Prime movies, I can play HBO Go, and that all mirror casts to this TV. Because there is a delay in mirror casting, there's about a half a second delay of the video and the voice, so you're gonna get it looking like it's lip syncing. So what I did on the TV was I put a USB transmitter on the back of the TV. Let me see if I can get there to show you. A USB transmitter right here on the back of the TV. And that's plugged into the audio out of the TV. And that transmits back to the radio. So the sync is almost dead on. It's not perfect, but it's almost dead on where you really can't tell. If you just have the tablet syncing Bluetooth to the radio, then you're gonna tell that it's off when you're watching this. Now, if the kids aren't in the car and I'm just watching the tablet, or my wife's watching the tablet while we're driving, then we'll put it directly to Bluetooth from the tablet, and then it's obviously in perfect sync. So the only reason for this Bluetooth transmitter is if you're watching from this TV and you're mirrorcasting from the tablet. You want it to be dead on. As we're here, I did put 2 cameras in here, so I'll show this. You just hold down SYS, and it shows the camera. That's the high camera from the third brake light. And I have a switcher underneath. Can't really see it, but it's underneath the driver's seat, and that switches to the license plate cam. So license plate cam, third brake light cam. Very easy for me to switch. Based on where I'm backing up, I'll use both. What else can I show you? So we have the PlayStation, we have the seat. I really like how the seat came out. It's a small seat, but it does have an armrest, built-in seatbelt. I also have this fold-out table, and I gotta show it to you. I'll just show you in a second, but this fold-out table is perfect for just folding out and using when you're stopped somewhere and you need to eat and do something. You know what? I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna open it up to show you. Awesome. So here, a couple seconds later, pop this little table out. It's by GCI Outdoor. And it's great. Obviously, I don't have it out while I'm driving, but when I'm stopped, this is a great little table to use for your laptop, or you know, just to eat in the car. Pretty convenient. Forgot to mention, this is a 5x7, I think 5x7 or 5x8 rug. I bought it at Walmart. It was like 20 bucks, and it fits perfect. It does go over the heat vents a little bit. I could have cut it out, but I didn't because I didn't want the kids stepping on the vents, so I'd rather protect it with a carpet. And I live in Florida, so it's not really necessary to have the heat on too often. Maybe 2 days a year it's gonna need heat. So again, there's the PlayStation, we got the table, the TV, and the outlets. Let me see, let me go on to the next, let me go to the front. Oh, this is also very cool. So this is the passenger seat. I put a rotator on here so you can rotate the seat 180 degrees. All I do is gotta crank the seat up like 3 or 4 cranks to make it clear the turn, and it will move it. Then I move forward probably like 6 inches, and then I can flip the seat around so the person sitting in this seat can be facing the back, obviously while we're stopped. But I'll open up here. I'll obviously have the courtesy lights, LED lights. I had to force those in. They were a little big, but I forced them in. Recon sells those as well.
Okay, here we go.
But here again is the rotator, the swivel. And the swivel is great. It's been a great option. And then you see the seat belt is attached now. Instead of the seat, it's attached to actually the swivel mount. And since this is now attached to the swivel mount, it allows the seat to turn around without pulling the seatbelt with it. So obviously while you're driving, you cannot turn around and keep seatbelted in the car. Glove compartment, also put an LED light, super bright. I also added, it did not come with 12 volt outlets, so I added the 12 volt outlets right there. And on the driver's side, passenger side, I'm sorry. On the passenger side, and I also put a little voltmeter.
Want to see a magic trick?
You can see that, a little voltmeter with USB. So my wife can charge the car, charge her phone, and I'm able to see if the alternator is working properly by charging the car. So I got the rotator. I'm trying to make sure I get everything for you. This is my final video on this build. Let me see. I also broke the little tabs off there on purpose so I could swing these side visors out to the side, so if the sun is bothering us, we can flip them to the side. They come mounted, so they only rotate one way. So let me close this. I'm gonna go to the driver's side now. Those daytime running lights are unbelievable. I love them. I'll show you where I put the resistors too. I did it a pretty cool way. So here is the driver's side. Again, I put LED lights for the courtesy lights. And underneath the seat, I have the switcher, which I mentioned about the switch. Let me see if I can, can't really show you any better than that right now. I'll take some still pictures if you request it. But I have the switcher right there in the RCA cables. You can kind of see that. And then underneath here, I believe I did a video and I showed everyone. I put the inverter. I think it's a 600 watt inverter. I put a relay, high capacity relay. I put fuses. I put everything really done professionally to run the high voltage stuff out there, including the outlets and the TV. And I will show you, I'll pop the hood, and I'll show you the resistors. So I put both resistors right here. They get super hot. I put one screw in, mounting into the metal. And I ran one wire to the light here, to the daytime running light. And I tapped in the resistor right here to the passenger side driver light, headlight, because I didn't want to run this wire all the way across to the passenger side headlight, and it was a little bit of a pain to get to it. So you know what? I just said, let me find the wire here. I looked at the color coding, the color code on the wire, and I just tapped in right here. And so both resistors are easily accessible, and I didn't have to run a long wire all the way to the passenger side. So those resistors, if you're wondering, when you put LED lights, they have less resistance, and the electrical system thinks that the light is out, and then you get a warning light on your car. I do not get warning lights on the car because I have the resistors in place, and the resistor actually makes it so you don't get the best efficiency electricity-wise, but at least it tricks your computer system to think that there's a regular bulb in there. I'll show you the flip seat. Let me rotate it around. And what I do here is I crank this up because in the manual it tells you to trim this plastic here when you put this, but I didn't want to trim anything. So I just crank this up using this lever. And then you can just move the seat up a little bit, and then it should rotate around. It's offset, so you should be able to rotate it down. You can see it, that's just gonna make it. It's just gonna make it. And again, I'll back up so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm gonna rotate it around now. And that way, you can be facing the inside, and the swivel I said is offset, so that way you can turn it without opening the door. They sell some swivels that has the bolt in the dead center, and you have to open the door to do it, and that's just not worth it. I'll post a link of what brand that is. I forgot off the top of my head, but I'll post a link and show you. But the swivel seat has come in handy when we're at soccer practice or travel soccer. We're all sitting here, we're eating, we're all talking, and that allows us to have one more seat facing the crowd. Driver's seat, they do make one for the driver's seat. I wasn't interested, obviously, because I put this jump seat, and I wasn't interested on turning around the driver's seat at all. And seeing how you have to crank it and move forward, I'm glad I didn't. I don't think I would have used it often. Again, this is a 2016 Mercedes Sprinter. This is my simple build. I wanted to use the seats, factory seats, to keep the kids safe. I didn't want to go aftermarket seats and have them weld and do stuff underneath, so I just moved the factory seats back. The reason I took out the fourth row seat is, the third row seat with the 4 seats, is I wanted people to be able to walk in the back and get out the back or grab the soccer stuff in the back. So that was my goal, is to make it so you can walk out the back. Yes, it's a tight fit, but at least you can get out the back if you wanted, without jumping over the last seat. And I also wanted a lot of room here. We have a place we can put a table. I can pick stuff up from Home Depot. I have a dog. I put the cage there when we travel. So I definitely wanted some open space. And with the factory seats, you can put a lot of things underneath because you have room all the way through, all the way to the back. And I just bought this carpet, I said, at Walmart. Very easy. I just cut it, made little slices, and then I put the seats in, shoved it in. Very simple to do. The only thing that needed some fabricating was this bracket that came with a Ford Transit, I believe. It's a Ford Transit seat, and I had a professional weld that bracket, and I made it so I can easily remove it. So the factory mounts here are actually holding that seat in. So I feel pretty good about that seat in an accident with holding and, you know, being able to hold up in a high impact. But I prefer the kids to sit in the factory seats while we're driving long distances. I also ran 2 HDMI cables because it's such a pain taking this headliner off. I said, let me put 2 HDMI cables, run as many cables as you can while the headliner's off again. I'm gonna buy one more TV mount because if that TV mount ever breaks or any of the Allen keys ever get worn out, I'm gonna have a second TV mount because I don't wanna ever have to take this apart again to change TV mounts. And one of my previous videos shows when I had this off, I put as much insulation in as I could. And I just used 3M spray to adhesive spray to put it in. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm not a professional installer. I was good at doing the electrical stuff myself because I've done it for many years, but I'm not a professional at all. And I try to keep it simple, a simple build that keeps, I think I spent, because I did all the electrical myself, I think I spent probably with the seat around $1,200 total. $1,000 to like maybe $1,400 total to get everything done, including the tints and buying the seat, getting it welded, the reverse cameras, everything.